Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Aquarius energy. I'm using the Kipper deck this week, and I'll be getting tarot on top of it and clarifiers. And it's been kind of fun the last couple weeks to kind of use a different deck every week to see how it might alter the story some. But we'll get out a few of these, get some tarot on top of it, and see what's going on. There is concern. Things are being debated. For some people, it's just within their mind trying to make a decision, and other people, it might actually really be going to court. So we have either a man and a woman here, or maybe someone is debating if they should go out more, kind of let their emotional side out. That could be one way this could be looked at. Or they're concerned that the main female and a mature man will get in a courtship in the future. Okay. So yeah, we have the courthouse card, but I would look at that. Needless, not everybody's going to court. So it's kind of like, I think we're constantly debating in our mind, we're always constantly trying to keep these aspects of our self-balance. So, and some people more often than others, and some people could have tipped in shadowy Aquarius energy. And shadowy Aquarius energy was people who didn't see things from the bigger picture, didn't have hope, faith, and belief in healing, and maybe made decisions in their life that were just best for them. And because of that, maybe things went to court, and if someone else is now maybe moving forward in the energy of love, hope, faith, and belief, and this person was maybe unwilling to do that, so they're staying right where they wanted to be, not moving forward, not changing, not growing, not learning. Yeah, it looks like a foundation came to an end. So now, yep, I think. Ooh. Well, looks like we could have a redemption story here. Okay. So we could have someone in the past who had decided, kind of in shadowy Aquarius energy, that they wanted to be a King of Pentacles, that it's all about money, wealth, stability, image, status. They didn't want to change. And they could have been emotionally cold. They could have decided, yes, I'm going to be someone who juggles. I don't really invest in anyone. And I am defensive of moving forward in my life. They also could have wanted to take action towards someone in their past and ignore being offered love to move forward, because they felt if they move forward that they'd maybe feel like they had missed an emotional opportunity. And so they were, in Seven of Swords, kind of deceptive and manipulative in order to repeat past patterns of the past. They think they're deceiving other people, but what they don't really know is they're deceiving themselves. Because if you ignore the offer of love to move forward and hope and faith and belief, you're really kind of deceiving yourself. They could have wanted to get in a relationship with a King of Pentacles, somebody who they view as very stable and abundant. And as the Queen of Swords, they could have been defending that relationship. But they could have kind of been juggling within themselves this emotional viewpoint of how they have viewed what would be the emotional relationship that they think they want to be in. But there might be an aspect of themselves that is defensive of this decision. Kind of like they made an adult decision that this is how they were going to live their life, but their kind of inner youthful nature still is defensive of that because their inner youthful nature does have hope, faith, and belief of moving forward in their life. So, because they were deceptive and manipulative and wanted to return to the past, one foundation that they had been in, a relationship or a foundation they were working at within themselves, came to a painful ending. Maybe it did go to court. Some of you might have gotten divorced. And that cycle of a relationship ended. For you people in positive Aquarius energy, you would have learned your lessons, the lessons you were meant to learn from this experience, and you would have tapped into your Leo energy of being emotionally bold and confident and gave it everything you had to keep moving forward, having hope, faith, and belief that the universe has a plan for your life, and to be with someone who's juggling, maybe emotionally cold, could be forceful and controlling with King of Wands Aries energy, and is manipulative and deceptive and ignoring your love. It's like you were ready to take some creative, inspired action forward. The other person who's in shadowy Aquarius energy, they were willing to let this foundation end because they want to maybe take some emotionally manipulative action because they're really driven by the things that drive them. And the things that drive them can be, we all have wants, dreams, and desires in our life. But what this person was heading towards and was protecting was a King of Pentacles. It could be just that it's all about them. It's all about their wealth, their status, their image, their reputation. If they get in a relationship with someone, they want to get in a relationship with someone else who's like that. They could be really driven by pride, ego, materialism, selfishness. They're not in positive Aquarius energy to see things from the bigger picture. So let's go. Oh, I already got some cards on it. So what you did, male or female, just that you are paying attention to your kind of like the main aspect of your emotions. It's not just, oh, my heart's upset, or hurt. You decided emotionally that in the King of Swords justice energy that you were going to stand in your truth and power, and you were willing to fight for the truth. This other person who is in shadowy energy, emotionally, they may have like a protective mechanism kind of like within their brain where it's like, no, we don't do that. We don't connect in with our emotions and our intuition and our creativity. And we think that is just and fair and right. A Seven of Swords person that they were when they had some concerns, they're holding the Five Swords, which can be about mental conflict and wanting to win at all costs. They could be afraid if they move forward that they could be stuck, and if somebody's going to be stuck, they don't want it to be them. I guess sometimes I think of those people as just being really afraid of being hurt. So in their Libra energy, they feel it's just and fair in a way to protect themselves emotionally, to protect their emotional side. And so they just live more from their mind. And because of that, they can kind of be really defensive and protective of themselves. If they did get in a new, well, I don't know if they've done that yet. Well, if they did, they could have really been kind of emotionally cold and defending that relationship they got into. Because here, when one foundation ended, they could have taken action towards the Queen of Wands can represent the other man, other woman. So when this relationship ended, they could have gotten into a different relationship, and they thought it was fair and just to be in that type relationship. But then we have the mature man, which again is just somebody who's mature, taking action in the world. You know, for those of you in positive energy, when this situation happened, and this could be someone that you had been working with in a foundation, it could be a parent, a child, a friend, and they just decided, I don't know, they were emotionally cold, they were juggling, they were rejecting love, they were being manipulative and deceptive, they were focused on the past, maybe past relationships that didn't work out. And so, you know, this foundation just, and again with the Ten of Swords right here, when it went to like court or being debated in the mind, the foundation of the people that were in shadowy energy, you know, all 10 swords came down from the mind, like, we're putting an end to this. You know, people who are really fearful of their emotions or connecting in with their emotions, you know, haven't really touched in with them enough in their life to know how to emotionally work with their emotions, can be, which can be really surprising because you could be in a relationship where things like seem great, but kind of when it gets to a certain point where they get really fearful of like, oh my gosh, I could get hurt in this relationship really bad, I'm afraid you'll leave me one day. You know, it's like the gates close and all the swords come down. It's like, that's it. And they're like, from now on, I'm just going to take emotionally manipulative action in relationships. I am going to live from my mind. And even if I get in relationships with people, I might kind of present myself as one way, but they're really kind of emotionally cold and defensive and guarded. When this happened, you would have had to take action in your world where, you know, you had an Aquarius hope and dream, and the Two of Wands is dreaming of a future. You had a hope and a dream that you were dreaming of, where people took mature action as an emperor. You know, all of us take action as an emperor in our own life. That's like, you know, executive decisions, not just making a decision from your mind, not just making a decision from your heart, you know, not just making a decision because you decided you want to be a king of pentacles. You know, you make a decision that's best for all aspects of yourself and everyone that you're in a loving connection with, that you're like responsible for. And you had to let go of that dream and that wish because this person was kind of more in a shadowy emperor energy where they were controlling and dominating and forceful. And it's like, it's going to be my way or no way. Even if, you know, even if they, you know, maybe that's how they were before this relationship ended. So you made a decision that I'm going to make a decision that I am going to move forward, that I'm going to maybe at least align within yourself so that who you are externally is aligned with who you are internally. And if, or you might get in another relationship too. And as you move forward, you are in Cancer energy of the Chariot, that, you know, you've gotten yourself emotionally balanced. Again, you kind of look at the courtship card as having both sides balanced. You know, who you present yourself in the world to be is accurately reflective of who you are internally. And you've balanced out your fears and insecurities, and you've worked through the issues of the past to, you know, that I take the happy memories of the past with me and I'm going to move forward. I'm going to let any old foundations, you know, that had been friendships, romantic relationships, jobs, friendships that have shown that they are not safe and stable like you thought they were when you started to build on them. That, you know, You're going to take the happy memories of the past, let the other foundations of that relationships go, and you are making a final decision, and you're going to give it a lot of thought. It might have caused you a lot of stress to get to this point, but you're going to move forward in your life. Um, for the people who maybe decided to live from their mind, they also let go of a wish and a dream and decided they're just going to be the boss. Maybe they just can't emotionally handle emotions. It would destabilize them. So they decide, well, they might decide that they'll get in a relationship with someone from their past, maybe based on money and materialism, and that working together with people from an emotionally loving foundation, that's ending. They have made a final decision and given a lot of thought to that it's kind of all about status and image. So long as they can move forward in by themselves or in a relationship where they look successful and that they're moving forward, that is the type of relationship they're going to be in. Now, there is the possibility of a redemptive story here. If people had been in a relationship where they were defending this King of Pentacles type energy, um, they've decided in their mind emotionally that King of Pentacles is the way they're going to live their life. And they're juggling, not really investing in anyone. It's all about money, image, status. Um, you know, their inner nature could have been defensive. Their King of Wands energy, who maybe wants to take some passionately creative, inspired action in the world, feels like they're missing love. Being in this maybe emotionally cold King of Pentacles type of life or relationship where people are being manipulative and deceptive is not very loving. So, I know it's kind of wild to think that kind of aspects of ourselves take other aspects, but that's why people stress and anxiety, because they're stressed about these different aspects of themselves and who gets to live life. A foundation could have decided to put an end to this, and they would have chosen this type of option because they have a lot of stress and anxiety about bringing down their old foundations. If they had wanted to move forward in an equally reciprocal loving relationship, they would have had to work together with people from each person having a 3 of Cups foundation. 2 people contribute their 3 cups to make 6 of Cups, where people are working together from that innocent, pure fun. It's like 2 kids playing from their emotions. And it would have required that this person bring down their old foundational ways of being, which can be their defense mechanism. Their defense mechanism of being up in their head to protect themselves emotionally, like as if they don't let their emotional side come out. They would have had to bring down that foundation. They would have had to get rid of these old ways of thinking and believing and perceiving. And the thought of making that judgment had maybe caused this person a lot of stress and anxiety. And so they decided, you know what? If I can move myself forward in a manner that makes me look successful or get in a relationship with someone who kind of thinks like me and is more aligned with how I view life, and we look like we're moving forward in a successful manner, good enough for worldly standards, kind of, I'm good with it. But then, they could have kind of realized they were deceiving themselves. They were having this inner conflict, and eventually their foundation decides this is backstabbing and betraying us. We're overwhelmed living our life like this. We're going to put an end to being emotionally manipulative. And if they were in a relationship with the Queen of Wands, can be the other man, other woman, thinking that they could just be in a relationship with that person and not really come from their emotional aspect, kind of more of just being, I don't know, sexual, creative, something like that, that they're going to put an end to that too. And now they're really willing to put in the work and effort, and they would have to be willing to speak their truth. They would have to be willing to stand in their truth and power, maybe communicate it to someone in their life, and also, get connected in with their own emotional side so that they would now be willing to fight for the truth. And whatever dreams and visions they had of what they thought life was supposed to be like, they've matured since then. And now they're willing to make a decision in their life that's best for all aspects of themselves and for the people that they love and care for. And now they would maybe be willing to be in that type of relationship where they work together emotionally. They're willing to bring down the old foundations they used to cling to, or old ways of thinking and believing, to be held accountable for their actions, which might be causing them a lot of stress. But they're going to give a lot of thought to, being in Cancer energy, where then they're in that energy of unconditional love for self and home and family, because it's the only way we grow and learn and mature, is being in loving, forgiving, compassionate kind of energy. And let's see, I didn't think this was the bottom of the deck, but I guess it was. That in the distant horizons, that, well, I guess they had some bad health, some despair, and realized they were kind of cheating themselves. Because you can try to deny your emotions as long as you want, but, it affects you physically, because part of the biggest component of us human beings is we're extremely, have extremely complex emotions. We need to balance that out with our mind. So, balance our mind and our heart. And they could have found that they were in despair and that they were cheating themselves and cheating other people. And maybe they kind of got in a relationship with a King of Pentacles type energy, because someone who operated from this type of energy had offered them a new beginning if they were willing to lift anchor from where they were and go into their imagination of what could be in the future. And maybe that future was, like, you get this golden opportunity. I'm sure they made it look like they were going to have the world. And as time went by, they realized that, whenever the devil whispers in our ear, the devil isn't whispering the truth. Our fears and our insecurities and our pride and ego lie to us. So they ended up being in bad health, and they realize that they need to accept a gift from the universe to dream again of their future. They could have gotten into this relationship because it offered them sudden wealth, to be surrounded by luxuries in life. But it ended up feeling more like a job in exchange for money. Oh. So maybe some people realized the truth of that, and they decided they want to go about their life differently. If you knew anybody in your past who you felt had betrayed you, was emotionally manipulative and deceptive and emotionally cold and distant and defending the way they were being emotionally, or any other relationship they got into, you let them go. And you are moving forward in a very emotionally successful manner. And this person could be concerned about it. But, that's for them to deal with. Everybody reaps what they sow. So if they're concerned now, I guess they got to decide for themselves what they want to do moving forward. And if they're willing to, if they had reunited with someone for their past or repeated past patterns, they would have to decide that they're going to quit doing that. They're going to let the past go. Quit trying to keep repeating the past or these visions of when you were a child, when you were more immature, and make a decision to give a lot of thought to getting yourself emotionally balanced and coming from an energy of love so that they can align within themselves and be in relationships with others. So we got Power of Surrender cards was surrender your defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non defensive response. And surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. Maybe this person did all this because for some reason within them it's a big trigger for them about feeling secure and stable and abundant. And maybe that is what kind of makes them defensive emotionally because they have a lot of fears around that issue. And the other reason those two came out is surrender the habit of people pleasing. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. A King of Pentacles can be someone who is like, oh, look at me, in a way, like I'm this generous, giving person in the community, but really they kind of don't defense and don't invest and can be a little bit, I don't know, manipulative and deceptive. It can all be about image and status. Who cares? Who cares if other people with how you live your life? You got to live your life individually. So, anyway, there we go, Aquarius. I wish you all peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.